Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a level 200 plus greatsword build guide in Elden Ring. So one of the nice things about the greatsword is you can use two big swords and deal an incredible amount of damage with the two of them. So I'll be going over a full build guide and the best steps in order to make this deal an incredible amount of damage. We actually have some interesting synergies here, so I'll be getting into the gear in just a second. I just want to show what this is capable of just right off the bat here. So we're going to get the blood loss trigger, and that's going to increase our damage. And then we literally just one-shot everything with this jump attack build. So the nice part about using a greatsword is you can always pair it with another one, and then that's just going to increase your damage output by a whole lot. And you have a huge reach. That was 2,800 damage with that jump attack. So that's incredible amounts of damage. 2,600 there. Now you get a huge boost to your damage whenever we have blood loss in the vicinity using the white mask. So you can actually stack this alongside another item which we'll get into, but at level 200 we have 50 vigor here, 28 mind. You can go a little higher with that, 58 endurance. This allows us to almost be able to equip another sword, so as you get higher you can put that up to 60, and I'll show you what the leveling would look like. And we got 80 strength here, 12 dexterity, 10 intelligence, 25 faith, and 16 arcane. Now with this I still have a poise of 58 here. You want to have at least minimum 51 to 56 and a medium roll, so I had to use. So the Raptor's Black Feathers increases your jump attack damage, and the White Mask is going to increase the damage after we trigger Blood Loss. With these two, Bullgroat, Greaves, and Gauntlets, we're able to get that poise up to the number we wanted at. If we use the Lord of Blood's Exaltation here, this is going to give us a plus 30 to our damage after Blood Loss occurs. Now with this, I do have a seal on, and the seal is going to allow us to cast Swarm of Flies, which is the easiest way to trigger that. So we can just do a couple of castings of that. If you're fighting against a boss, this is great when your mimic's holding aggro, because it takes a bit of time for it to get there, and then you can follow it up with your own attack there. So once that blood loss is triggered, we're going to be dealing extra damage. Now I'll show you where to go with the stats if we're higher level than this. So as you continue, you would obviously want to put your endurance up a bit. It does take, like, your endurance won't increase that much. After you continue, it'll increase your max equip load, so we can go with a few extra points there and try to, if you really want to, equip another sword, but this is just going to give you stamina and the ability to swap between maybe a few different things, like a dagger with Golden Vow, if you don't want to cast it here. But we're also going to want to take our mind up, so as you continue to get higher in the levels, like mind is going to be nice because that just gives you so much versatility with your spells. But our damage doesn't scale much after 80, so you can put points into it, but I would just recommend, like, putting the points elsewhere, because you'll get bigger benefits from them. Like with higher faith, that allows us to cast a few different incantations, so we can get this up to, like, I guess we'll just leave it at about 40, and 40 mind, 64 endurance, 90 strength. You don't even need to increase the strength, honestly. I'll take that back down, put some points into our arcane just to show what this opens up. So at level 250 here, we do get a ton more spells, so we get all the dragon ones. I recommend having X-Eggs Decay, because Scarlet Rock can help take down bosses easy. Now, Frenzied Burst is actually one of the longest range attacks in this game, so this is not a bad one to have. Howl of Shabriri will also increase our damage, but it also means we take more damage ourselves, so that can be a bit risky. There's a few of the different bleed spells, but I think Swarm of Flies is just the best because it takes a bit of time to get to the target. Black Flame Protection is awesome for the increased damage negation, but it does decrease the amount of you get from a health potion. And then all the different flame spells. Vike's Dragon Bolt can give us a lightning enhancement to our weapon, which is not a bad one to have. So with that, we can power up our weapon here, and it's a pretty nice effect to have. So I am using the Zweihander in the offhand there, alongside the greatsword. So you could also potentially just go with a greatsword as well, but I'll show you a couple different weapon arts here. So I have the Savage Lion's Claw, but if you use the Lion's Claw from the base game, that's going to be more than enough. Just this Savage variety of it gets an extra follow-up attack here, which is really nice. I always recommend having your weapon have some type of damage enhancement on it. So if it's the lightning, I really like Blood Flame Blade. I think that's one of the best ones to use, so I always use that because it'll give you extra bleed buildup. Now, we don't attack often, but that's just the thing, is when we do, we hit hard with that. So it can trigger the blood loss, which will give you the increased damage with the White Mask and the Lord of Blood's Exaltation. But we also get some other incantations that we can use. And one of my personal favorites is we get if you put Royal Knight's Resolve on your offhand weapon, you can then follow up with a crazy jump attack that's just going to do a crazy amount of damage. I almost was able to one-shot the Shadow Tree avatar in New Game Plus using World Knight's Resolve. It's really good. So it's just going to increase the attack power of your next attack by 80%, so that was 2,800 damage there, an incredible amount of damage. This gets pretty intense, and paired with the greatsword, this can be a very fun build to go with. Even if you're able to get 2 greatswords, there's a lot of synergy to be had with that, and I'll show you a cool little synergy that we also have here. So with 2 greatswords, you can two-hand it. I put the chilling mist on here, so this will put chilling mist in the front, but it'll also power up our weapon here, and then you can take it off the offhand and then have it there. And unfortunately, you can buff with the using your seal, but this at least gives your offhand weapon the cold, so you can switch between different elements on the fly if you want to use fire with blood flame, or if you want to have your offhand with the frostbite imbuement, because it doesn't actually take too long to trigger the frostbite on enemies here. You're going to see we already got them frostbitten. Now on a boss, it's going to take probably a few more hits than that, but overall that's pretty solid, and it's a lot of fun just to swing around 2 huge swords like this. I must admit, this is one of the more fun builds. I really like colossal weapons and the colossal greatswords in general. Like, they do have a lot of just damage factor, and they feel fun to use. So that is really the most important part, is having fun with the build that you're using in Elden Ring, and this one is certified fun. So that is the Greatsword 200 plus, and I guess also a dual Greatsword build guide in Elden Ring. If you found this video useful, please hit the subscribe button below. This was a requested video, so if you have a request that you'd like to see as well, let me know. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.